Hey everyone, it's Sci-Fi Guy again. So we just got another exclusive look at Avatar 2 from Empire magazine, and we've got two new images which have confirmed a theory that has been floating around ever since the teaser for Avatar 2 dropped. Sigourney Weaver is playing Kiri, the girl we saw in the teaser and the one that appears on the poster. So let's take a look at the images. In the first one, we have this still that looks like an extension of the scene we have in the teaser of Kiri where she's swimming under the water. This is an exclusive cover for Empire magazine and gives us not much more than was already shown in the teaser, but it's still a nice, close image of Kiri's face. So then we have this second, I guess, more interesting image that is kind of making everyone go crazy right now, which is of Kiri on the left-hand side, and she seems to be watching Grace on the right-hand side. Now, this entire image is really cool, so I just want to go look at a few of the details more for a second. So we have on the right-hand side Grace and Norm from, it looks like it's from the original movie, but actually at some point John Landau did post an Instagram message that showed that Sigourney and Norm were returning to film some new footage, and it was actually of this scene on the right hand side. So it's obviously, or maybe it's Kiri watching an image from Grace. And then another thing that you might not have noticed if we look further into the background is that it seems to be Spider standing just in the middle of the image. You can just see the top of his head, the dreadlocks. And then even further back and to the left, we see the tanks where the avatars are grown. So there's definitely a big tank there on the left-hand side, and it looks like there might be even more further back. And this kind of gets really interesting when you look at the mask around Kiri's neck, that doesn't actually look to be one of the masks that they wear on the outside to be able to breathe on Pandora. So maybe she isn't just a pure Na'vi. Maybe she's, as it says it says that she's a pure Na'vi in the article. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's also some kind of avatar. Because why would she be wearing a mask, and why would she be in this area looking like she's just come out of a tank? Just a quick reminder, if you want to keep up with Avatar news and content, to subscribe to my channel. So these two images in the article, they give us some really cool answers to some of the biggest questions that people have had ever since it was announced that Sigourney Weaver was going to be back in the sequels. We now know who she's playing, Kiri, who the character is. The article says she's a Na'vi, but maybe she's not. And that she's the adopted daughter of Jake and Neytiri, at least according to the article from Empire. But it also presents us with lots more questions. For example, just how strong is the connection between Kiri and Grace in terms of their characters? Is Kiri a full-blown reincarnation with all of Grace's memories and knowledge? Or is she a more complex character than that? We also get questions of how was she born and why? If she's adopted, where are her parents? Who were her parents? Did she have any at all? She might have been brought back by Ewa. That's one of the things that people have also been speculating. Is she related to Quaritch? I mean, he's another character who's also come back to life and seemingly an Na'vi / maybe Avatar. Is there some connection there? It also presents a lot of questions from a technical perspective. Number one being, just how is a 70-year-old woman going to play a teenage girl? Will she be doing all of her own stunts? Will she be doing all of the performance capture? If she is, that's really impressive. But we also might get some animation or a physical stand-in for Sigourney. I'm certain that James Cameron will want a repeat of the old man movements that we saw in the supposedly young scenes from Robert De Niro that everyone kind of memed on in The Irishman. There's also the question of her voice. I mean, Sigourney Weaver is a brilliant actress, but she still has the voice of a 70-year-old woman. I wonder if they're going to use some of the AI that we've heard in some of the recent Star Wars shows to youngify her voice in a way. I guess we'll see. My own theory of at least the connection between Kiri and Grace is that she is going to be some kind of reincarnated version of her, and this is partly to do with the original script of Avatar Project 880, where Grace does actually come back to life in that original script and speaks with Jake after her transfer fails. It just takes a little while and she gets a new Na'vi body. So maybe Jim is kind of riffing on that idea a little and coming back to it with a new take. So that'll be interesting to see. From a filmmaking perspective, though, I actually think this is even bigger news than just from an Avatar perspective. I mean, if James Cameron can truly pull off a 70-year-old woman playing a teenage girl convincingly, this means that almost anything is possible. In the early 90s, James Cameron did talk about the idea that he could bring back people like Grace Kelly or Marlon Brando in their primes to play characters in movies. And this almost in a way feels like this might be a kind of beta test for that. If this does work completely, then anything you can imagine is truly possible. And with James Cameron, who knows where that'll take us. As always, thanks for watching the video. I'd love to thank the Based in a Buzz network, and thank you for watching.